Hi folks, this is going to be a basic recipe for Toll House cookies, but they are going to get cooked in the solar oven. Other than that, everything's exactly the same. Now, I'm making this in honor of Jack Northrup, and he's got a YouTube channel which I like, and he's an American guy married to a Filipino woman, otherwise known as a Filipina, and he lives on the island of Luzon, north of Manila, and he's been living there for a couple of years. And Jack has a great channel, and he chronicles life in the Philippines, and he meets a lot of people, and Jack likes to laugh, but I think Jack may be somewhat depraved. Oh, I didn't mean that. He might be somewhat deprived. I don't think that Jack gets enough cookies. In one of my solar oven videos, he mentioned that cookies are important in the Philippines, so I just thought I'd make this recipe in his honor. And I'm also going to put a link to his channel in case anybody's interested in watching his stuff. A lot of his videos are pretty fun, and if you're interested in the Philippines, it makes it even more fun. But anyway, I'm going to run down the ingredients here. And the first thing we got is 2 sticks of butter, and they say at room temperature, and I guess that really depends on what temperature your room is, because if I let these go to room temperature, these would be melted all over the place. And then I've got 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. I have 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I've got 1 cup of chopped walnuts. I've got 2 cups of chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips. And I've got 2 beaten eggs here. And here I've got 1 teaspoon each of salt and baking soda. Not baking powder, baking soda. And then lastly, I've got vanilla extract here. This is fancy vanilla extract, but any old vanilla extract will do. You want 1 teaspoon. And the first thing you want to do is you want to blend the sugar, both of the sugars, with your butter. And I've seen people using mixers to do this, but you don't really need a mixer. I've done it plenty of times without mixers. And just mix it up, blend it together. They call it creaming it together. So we're going to get it all creamed together so that we'll be using proper terminology. And it doesn't take long to do this. I'm just using a spoon. Now it's harder to do if the butter isn't melted properly. It'll be a little trickier. If it isn't softened properly, it'll be trickier. But it doesn't take long if you got those sticks of butter softened. I've done it sometimes in the microwave. If you just stick a couple of sticks of butter on a plate or even in a bowl and put them in the microwave for 20 or 30 seconds, it'll be all softened up. Anyway, there, that's creamed. Now the instructions say that you're supposed to mix the flour, the salt, and the baking soda together in a bowl, And I've done it without doing that, but this time I will. So I guess this is an important step. I don't know, I guess so. But make sure that it's all uniformly throughout, but I don't think it's that critical, but they put it in the steps, so I'm going to do it. And then they want you to gradually mix in the eggs one at a time, like I just didn't do. I didn't do that. I'm just going to mix it all up. And once it's all mixed, I'll begin putting the flour mixture in there. Some of these steps, I really find some of the cooking steps to be a little bit more than they need to be honest with you. Gradually beat them in one at a time and all this kind of stuff, you know. So I'm going to put some of this flour in here and mix it around. So it'd be better to have a mixer to do this, but as you can see, it's not critical. It can be done in a bowl with a spoon. So pretty nearly ready for the rest of the flour. This part of it is a little bit hard to do, but it can be done. So I'll just keep mixing, and it'll come together. You don't need to have an electric mixer or a food processor or anything like that in order to make these. It's nice to have, but it's not needed 100%. Anyway, once this starts to come together, which this pretty much is, then it's time to add the chocolate chips and the nuts. Well, actually, before I do that, I'm going to put in the vanilla extract. So I'm adding 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Any old kind will do. And I suppose that if you didn't have it, it wouldn't be the end of the world if it wasn't in there. But I'm just going to dump in these chocolate chips and these nuts. And obviously, if you're allergic to nuts, don't put them in. And walnuts, I found out recently walnuts are as healthy as fish oil. They're always raving about how healthy fish oil is. And walnuts have a lot of the same benefits and as fish oil, which I never knew before. But so that means we're making health food. If you're a kid and your mom is wondering how come you're making cookies, you can just tell her, well, the YouTube guys said that walnuts are as healthy as fish oil, so I put walnuts in this and now it's healthy to eat. Anyway, here's the dough. It's all mixed up. Now, supposedly this makes about 6 dozen cookies, and I'm not going to make that many. I'm only going to probably make a couple of dozen, and then I'll save the dough, make some more at a later time. So the next step is to get these into the solar oven. here's our cookies, cookie dough. These are each 1 rounded tablespoon, a little bit more maybe. And these are ready to go in the oven. Now, if this was going in a regular oven, it would be a 350 degree oven for 9 to 11 minutes. But we're putting it in a solar oven, so the temperature is a little lower, and we're going to cook them for 20 minutes per batch. So here they are in the solar oven, and we've got a nice sunny day. And here are our Toll House cookies after 20 minutes in the solar oven. So here's our cookies on the cooling rack, and if I could send these to the Philippines, I'd send some for real to Jack Northrup, but since that's unrealistic, I guess I won't. But he could eat these if I sent them while in between making videos about life in the Philippines, and also in between that and designing airplanes. He could oh wait, that's a different Jack Northrup. I made a mistake. Anyway, that's about it for this video, so thanks for watching.